What's happening, guys? My name is Weds, and today we're gonna talk about some new changes coming to Destiny 2 in the expansion Lightfall. Buildcrafting, as we know it right now, is going to change for the better, and there are things that we all have been waiting for that is coming in Lightfall. So let's go to the Bungie page, and so we can start talking about things. So it's a very long page, so bear with me so we can get to it. I'm gonna do it as fast as possible. In any case, this is where we at. It says Buildcrafting Evolve, and that's for Destiny 2 dev team. It says over the last few years we've been expanding on buildcrafting options within Destiny 2. We want players to find fun and unique ways to embrace any given flavor of combat while expressing themselves through the power of their guardians. The current buildcrafting system relies heavily on a mod library that has grown to be highly complex and at times confusing. So we are making some changes to improve it, as well as other aspect of how you build your dream monster killing machine. Today we're going to share some more details on the upcoming in-game loadouts and mod customization features, and how we are evolving the buildcrafting experience as a whole. TLDR: consolidation is a major theme in many of the changes you'll be seeing today. The current pre-Lightfall mod system has been built piecemeal over the years and contains a lot of redundancies. The loadout system empowers guardians to suit up for whatever tasks on the fly. Up to 10 slots available to save multiple loadouts. The single screen system also provides opportunities for players to create and share their loadouts with the community more easily. The mods customization screen will make managing your mods easier with them all in one place. Like the Guardian appearance screen, this screen creates an easy to reference space where you can see all your armor pieces and mods at any given time. Now let me scroll down real quick to show you exactly what they're talking about right here. So if you look at this screen right here, you can see that compared to what I was showing you in the beginning, when you open your character in the current system, where you have to go piece by piece or armor by armor so you can see the mods in order to slot them. So this is gonna be a lot different now. As you can see right here, you can see all the weapons, and you can also see all the armors and then the mods that you can put on them. They're right there in one screen where you can just make things a lot easier on yourself. All right, let's go back to where we stopped and say champion counters are being spread between artifact perks, subclass abilities, and more. Updates to the mod streamline the process and bring new and exciting build potential to Destiny 2. We're taking the opportunity to touch and tune every single mod in Destiny 2. We are removing energy types from mods and armor, giving players more flexibility in crafting their builds. No more switching between energy types to find the mod you want. Now, we know how painful that can be when we're trying to make sure we match the right affinity for our mods and armor just so we can create the right build. So this is going to be a very good change, and we welcome those kind of changes in any case. They also say we are reducing the pressure on armor energy by retuning armor mod costs and changing artifact perks to no longer require mod slots. We're moving from weapon type specific mods to damage type specific mods for increasing flexibility in builds. Loadouts. Now this is the change that we all have been waiting for. Some games like The Division, you can save your loadout and then you can just equip it whenever you want to. Now we do have some kind of potential to do that in Destiny Item Manager in third party. Now we'll be able to save multiple builds and then we can equip them whenever we want to. That is very good. So we'll see how this is going to work, but this is what they're saying. They're saying being able to save your loadouts and easily switch between them in-game has been a long requested feature and is arriving with Lightfall next month. This is February 2023 they're talking about. Now I say we're taking the power of quickly switching between carefully crafted builds and make it available in-game. Here are some problems the team wanted to solve. Quickly swap entire sets of gear without numerous trips to the vault or having to open a second screen. Decrease time in between replay sessions caused by needing to rebuild a loadout, create ways to label loadouts for quick identification. All right, back to the image that we talked about earlier. So the writing, it says here you can see a warlock with 3 loadouts created of the 6 slots they have unlocked. You will be able to unlock all 10 slots by progressing through the new Guardian rank system. Each loadout labeled as an assortment of colors and icons to choose from, including Crucible, Rage, Trials, Gambit, damage types, and more. As you can see right here, so you see this one and you also see that screen, and here you can see where it says loadout slot 3 preview. So you're gonna have at least 10 slots, as they say right now, so you can just create multiple loadouts that way when you want one. So if you want to go play the Crucible, then you can just equip one for the Crucible instead of trying to keep changing mods over and over and changing gears and stuff like that. So this is what we've been waiting for, so that's exactly what they're talking about. So I don't want to keep elaborating on this anymore. So that's all this is all about, just loadout, saving your loadout and stuff like that. Okay, now down to mods and mod customization. When Lightfall goes live, it'll be a new ball game of sorts. Things will be different and you will have a blank slate to start cooking up new builds for future adventures. Not all current builds in Destiny 2 will be possible upon launch, but there will be a healthy offering to start with. We are also planning to expand upon buildcrafting options season over season. Problems the team wanted to solve: cut down on time managing mods, remove limitations that created confusing experiences, breaking down barriers to make buildcrafting fun, giving players more understandable ways to earn mods, remove the need to wait for ADA1 to sell a specific mod you need, retune mods to give players more forms of expression while also tamping down on areas of power creep. So we're no longer gonna have to wait for ADA to sell the mods that we need, so we're gonna have all these mods unlocked. So let's continue to read. As you can see, this is another image that you can see right here, and it says our new mod customization screen is going to make creating your builds much easier, as you will be able to see all your currently applied mods and how they are affecting your stats on one screen. From here, you can quickly select different pieces of gear to start tinkering. This is the mod customization, and they are showing us right here. So on this right here, you can see a tab for armor and also a tab for weapons, and you can see all the different mods that they have. So let's go continue to read. There is also a tab at the top of the screen, so you can switch over to see what perks and stats your current weapons have without having to switch back to your character screen. And there is a mod customization screen right here. As you can see, this is the armor, and then also this is the weapon, where we don't have to keep going back and forth like we do currently in the current system that we have. Also, let's continue to really say, let's talk about earning mods. Historically, mods were unlocked in a variety of ways, but for the most part, you were waiting for ADA1 to have them in stock. We wanted to remove this waiting game and make all mods have a clear unlock path. All mods will be unlocked by achieving Guardian rank 6. Most players who have spent some time in the game will start at rank 6 and instantly have all mods ready to go out of the gate. Now, players will unlock mods as they climb through the ranks. Look out for more info on Guardian ranks soon. Mod application details. So mod energy types are being removed, eliminating the need for 4 different versions of a given armor piece for build crafting purposes. We also converting the combat style socket into an additional mod socket for that armor slot, helmet, gauntlets, etc. We are also reducing the energy cost of many of those mods, helping give you more opportunities to mix and match. This is a great change right here because the cost I thought was a little steep whenever you are having to slot a mod. It was costing too many energy. It took too much energy to actually slot a mod. So that's a very good change in my opinion. Additionally, armor mods that previously provided benefits to weapon based on their archetype, for example, hand cannon loader, will now instead provide benefits to weapons based on the damage type. This levels the playing field for all weapon archetypes and should make it easier to put together a powerful suite of mods to benefit multiple weapons in your loadout sharing a damage type. But that's not all. Artifact mods are also being translated to unlockable perks. They will no longer need to be socketed, but rather unlocked for the duration of the season, once earned, and are passively applied to your loadout. So what does that mean exactly? Let's say the anti-barrier weapon of the season is pulse rifles. This change means that you'll no longer need to equip a mod for this, taking up precious space and energy. All your pulse rifles, unless they have an intrinsic champion mod, will automatically have anti-barrier applied. As you can imagine, having every single artifact mod active at the same time would be a little OP. Because of that, you won't be able to unlock them all at the same time and will have to choose which 12 perks you have active at any given time. However, we do want to make it as easy as possible to change up your builds, so resetting the artifact will not cost anything. So you can reset your artifact for free. Basically, that's what they're saying. And what also they're saying is that if, for instance, the season is barrier for pulse rifle, then you don't have to actually equip the mods, and your pulse rifle will have a barrier champion automatically. Also, when they talk about some of the weapons with intrinsic champion mods, they're referring to weapons like the Revision Zero, for instance, that has a barrier champion built into it. So that one is an exception to the rules. But if it's like a legendary one that has no mods and no intrinsic mods, then you'll be able to have that automatically. In any case, let's continue going. What does that mean for Artifice Armor's extra artifact mod slot? Starting in Lightfall, Artifice Armor will have a new unique mod slot that grants 3 additional points to your character stats like strength, mobility, intellect, etc. This will help you round out your stats as you perfect your build. So this is also a very good change, because now you'll have some extra stats. If you have this Artifice Armor, then you have some extra stats to add to your build, and you'll be able to have more 100 stats for certain aspect like discipline and stuff like that. In any case, once you've gotten your loadout set and your mods managed, it's time to dive in. We're making some gameplay updates to complement the above changes. All right, let's keep going. They say game, set, match. Now, one thing that has always played a huge part in how you set up your build is match game. It's been pretty much a requirement that you diversify your damage types or end up facing shields that feel hopeless to break. We want to remove this restriction and allow more freedom with how you create your builds to take advantage of new element-specific mods. To reach that goal, match game is being removed from high difficulty activities, and we are making a few tweaks to how you can do damage to different types of shields. Base shield resistance to non-matching damage types across the entire game is being adjusted to 50%, similar to Gambit now, and we will have some other ways for you to do some bonus damage to shields that we will tell you about before launch. This will help you synergize your perks and abilities around a single damage type rather than diluting them across several different ones. Let's continue on. We are the champions. Another thing that has a huge impact on your build are champions. We want to make how you counter champions more logical. That should also make it easier to learn how to deal with them in the first place. So while you will still have a selection of anti-champions artifact perks available to you based on your current weapon selection, we are also adding some anti-champions options to your subclasses to complement your weapons. Barrier champion, solar, void, and strength counter. When using volatile rounds from your weapons, it will also pierce the barrier and stun the champion. When the player is radiant, their attacks pierce champions' shields and stun them. Strength will also have a method of piercing barriers. Overload champions, you get arc, stasis, and void counter. Damaging an overload champion by triggering the jolt condition stuns the champion. Likewise, suppressing the champion stuns them, as does slowing them with stasis. Unstoppable champions, arc, solar, stasis, and strength counter. Blinding an unstoppable champion instantly stuns them, encasing them in stasis, and then shattering it or triggering a solar ignition on them likewise stuns them. Strength will also include an unstoppable champion counter. So all this stuff like that. So your subclass is gonna be helping you to deal with champions in the new system coming in Lightfall. Anyway, let's continue talking about armor charge mods. With the combat mod socket going away, many mods that once belonged to the Charge with Light and Elemental Wells subfamilies of mods now fall under a revamped system known as Armor Charge and move to armor slot specific sockets. The armor charge mechanics function as follows. Socketing an armor mod that uses the armor charge system gives you access to the system. The functionality of taking charge, picking up an orb of power to gain one stack of the charge is now granted to you whenever you have any armor charge mod equipped. Many mods that previously created elemental wells or gave you stacks of charge with light have been converted to instead create an orb of power. You can now hold between 0 and 3 stacks of armor charge by default, which appears as a buff in the status effects area. By socketing chest armor mods charged up, you can increase your maximum number of armor charge stacks as high as 6. Some mods provide a passive ongoing benefit while you have any stacks of armor charge. When you have one of these armor mods equipped, every 10 seconds a stack of armor charge falls off if not consumed by something else. Players can extend the decay time by socketing the extended charge mod in the class item socket. For example, Font of Wisdom in the head socket will provide a bonus gain to intellect while you have any armor charge active. Some mods consume 1, 2, 3, or all stacks of armor charge on a particular trigger, granting you an instantaneous benefit when they do. A few other mods, Stacks on Stacks in the leg socket, Powerful Friends and Radiant Light in the head socket, Time Dilation in the class item socket, etc., can modify the armor charge system for you without providing you with a specific benefit while you have armor charge. Finishers will now consume armor charges and not dip into your super energy. Very nice. Elemental Wells Evolve. We're getting there, guys. We're almost done. In any case, while many of the mods that previously created or benefited from Elemental Wells are being changed to instead focus on orbs of power, some aspects of Elemental Wells aren't going away entirely. Instead of creating elemental wells, each subclass will now create damage type specific spawn objects. Ionic Traces for Arc, Fire Sprite for Solar, Void Breaches for Void, Stasis Shards will continue being used for Stasis. Strand will also have an object. We will share more details on it in the future. The ability to spawn these objects will not come from armor mods but from your subclass instead. For example, while the Ember of Tempering Fragment is active for Solar Hunters, it will now create a Fire Sprite when you defeat an enemy with these solar weapons. Picking up any of these objects will grant ability energy or have other effects depending on your subclass build. For example, if you're running a solar subclass and you have the new Ember of Mercy Fragment equipped, picking up a Fire Sprite will grant you the restoration effect. The number of these types of interaction will be limited at launch, but we intend to add to this system moving forward. Alright, we are now at the balancing act that says, while the main goals here were to streamline the build crafting experience, we also had to do some tuning while we were under the hood to address some of the power spikes certain build combination created. As we said previously, we looked at every single mod and some were changed, moved to other slots, transitioned to other abilities, or removed. With the removal of armor energy type and the consolidation of mechanics into armor charge, some mods became redundant and were removed. Some ability energy gains, stat bonuses, and weapon damage bonuses for mods have been reduced, though we've also added some new mods to expand your build possibility. Not all previous builds are going to be able to recreate it one-to-one, but the system has been changed enough to open up a lot of new possibilities with new mods and ability combination. As an example of mods that aren't coming along for the ride are War Mine Cells. RIP War Mine Cells. Anyway, they say these are a relic of a different time and had already been nerfed in the past. They had a good run, but these mods will be deprecated and no longer available starting in Season 20 to make way for new options to consider when crafting your preferred combat style. Looking ahead, we've covered a lot and know there are going to be a lot of questions with so many changes on the horizon. We have more to say on this along with the plethora of other exciting changes coming alongside Lightfall's release next month, that is February 2023. Now, with a system like this, the best way to fully understand it is to get your hands on it, you damn right, and start tinkering. As with everything involved with supporting Destiny 2, this evolution is not an endpoint. We have plans to continue tuning and improving the system, and we'll be adding new build crafting elements to fill power gaps we didn't have a chance to get to with this release. We're excited to see what you build with this new toolbox and look forward to seeing all the new builds shared out. Anyway guys, that's all there is to it. It was a long winding reading, but I'm pretty sure you get something out of it, and I will leave a link in the description. That way, if you want to just read it tonight or whenever, so you can get a better understanding of what is to come, then I will do so in the description. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.